I know. Do you know what the best feeling in the world is?
Oh, is it, when you finally beat a boss after messing up loads of times?
I mean, that's a good one.
Or actually, when you unlock a new skin in a game without having to buy it?
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, actually, what about when you blue shell someone last second and then you win the race?
I mean, they are all good options.
Well, it's not one of them.
It's not one of them. They're good options, but I think it's when you've got your new game loaded up, you are ready to go, you're getting locked in, but you've got a chocolatey friend.
Hey, now we're talking,
Absolutely.
bro.
They are there, ready to give you a little power up, a little energy boost before you get going.
Especially if it's a lovely milk chocolate slab between two crisp biscuits.
You know the one, I know. It makes the world's most satisfying snap when you bite into it. It's got to be a pickup bar.
Pick up. Oh, yeah. Oh, are you going for the OG pickup? You know, the one with the blue box?
Yeah, this blue box.
That blue box?
Yeah, this is really good. I mean, I'm also dabbling with the salted caramel as well.
Okay.
There are loads of different flavors out there. Whichever one you go for, there is no better snack for when you're getting ready to get into a big gameplay session. You're about to pick up your controller and get into it.
Yeah, and they're super easy to eat as well. No chocolatey fingers over the controllers. Nuh-uh. And that's thanks to the two crisp biscuits hugging the chocolatey slab.
Nobody wants chocolate marks on their controllers, do they? Absolutely not. You can find out more by just searching for Pickup on your phone.
Pick up and go.
Okay, so we start this week's episode of Press X to Continue with a warning. Please remember to take regular breaks when listening to this podcast. There is no hard and fast rule, but just like with video games, health experts say you should take at least one short break for every hour you listen, and then a longer break every 4 hours. So plenty of time to get this week's episode in. My name is Steffan Powell, and I'm joined as ever by the actor, streamer, video game star, and wearer of a Santa's hat. It's Einel Tomlinson. How are you, Einel?
Hey, getting ready for the Christmas spirits. That's what
you are very Christmassy, may I add.
You know what? I appreciate those games that give you those warnings. You know the warnings that say, like, you've been playing for a little while. Do you want to take a little break? I like that.
Yeah,
like
they're taking care of you. They care about you, Einel. You know,
They do.
Yeah,
they should have snack recommendations. Would be great if they did that. It's like, hey, you've been playing for a little while. How about you go get some biscuits, a little crisp or something? That'd be nice.
And now today we welcome back to the podcast gaming YouTuber Luke Westaway. And Luke, you have got an unpopular opinion to get us back underway. Lovely to have you back in the Continue Club. Yeah, and Cassie's with us as well. Hello, Cassie. We'll introduce you in a sec. Luke, what is your unpopular opinion?
Hi, Cassie. Hi, Einel. Hi, was it Steffan Powell?
That's the one. That's the one. Yes, that's me.
Wait,
that's me. Yeah, thanks.
Not the Steffan Powell who beat Time Crisis 2 for £1.
The very same.
I was just in Aberystwyth, and I was walking by the pier.
Yeah,
and man, I tell you could have heard a pin drop there.
They're still talking about it, aren't they? The streets are still talking about it.
The streets are still talking. The streets are electric with the rumour, with the news.
Yeah, it's front page news of the Cambrian newspaper. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I didn't
it's
even
big.
know that was a newspaper. But I'm thrilled to learn, and yeah, wow. I mean, wow. I'm privileged to be in the room. I'm scared now to do my unpopular opinion in case a true god of gaming.
You should have seen me move, Luke. You should have seen the John Wick. Like, I was getting into character, right? I mean, the characters have got mad names. I was being Keith. I was like whoosh. I was bobbing and weaving, ducking and diving, whilst obviously using the pedal.
That's what they'll call the biopic, Being Keith, the Steffan Powell story.
You know, like those coins don't insert themselves, and I only had to do it once. I only had to put £1 coin in, and I completed the game. Yeah.
Very
anyway,
simple,
we could talk about my escapades at Aberystwyth Pier for a long time, as we have. What would you like to share with us and your unpopular opinion this week?
Okay, if I purchase a video game digitally and I start to download it, and the download size is over 80 gigabytes, not only is that annoying because it's big, but I know the game is going to be like 7 out of 10. Right? And look, people listening to this is resonating with you. They know. It rings like a bell. It rings with truth. If a game has like a huge download size, it's a massive like red flag for me. Huge. If it's over 100 gigabytes, I'm like, this isn't going to be a very good game.
And look, what adds insult to injury is if it is 80 gig plus, and then you still have to do a day one patch. It's like, oh no, this is really going to be dodgy.
But I want to separate that. No one likes huge downloads. That wouldn't be a controversial opinion. It's not an unpopular opinion. I like it when a game is nice and small because it downloads fast so I can play it. But separate to that, I feel that you can make a fair judgment about the quality of the game based on how big the download is. If it's a AAA game from like a big publisher, if it's like a kind of EA game, and I set it going 110 gigabytes, it's not good. It's not a good game, is it? You know it.
Okay.
You're silent because you know. Now, let me throw you another. Let me throw you another scenario. It's a trusted publisher. Maybe it's I don't know. Let's say Platinum or something. You know, just to sort of pull like a respected developer publisher kind of like out of the air. The latest Platinum game is here. Oh, cool. Yeah, you purchase it. You set it going. 60 gigabytes. That's a 9 out of 10 game. You know it's true. Let me hit you with some facts. Tears of the Kingdom, 18.2 gigabytes. Elden Ring, 60 gigabytes. Elden Ring, it's the biggest game. The base install around 60 gigabytes. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which increasingly I'm thinking is the best video game ever made, 12.5 gigabytes. Let that sink in, okay?
I'm letting it sink in. How's it sinking in with you, Geeky Cassie?
I'm literally opening up Steam because at first we all thought it was the madman yelling at the sky, but now, the more he spoke, the more I was like, maybe he's not wrong, and that scares me. But
yes.
I don't know if he's wrong. I don't know if he's wrong.
I'm not a game developer. I'm not a coder. I'm simply a truth teller. So it's possible that someone can explain to me that there is actually like a scientific reason behind the facts that I'm bringing to the table. It might be that a very, very large download size suggests a game that hasn't been like properly optimized, for example, and that maybe like a nice small tight download size suggests a game that like has no fat on it. You know, it's just like a kind of more streamlined experience. There might be a correlation there. Again, I'm not a scientist. I don't know. And you will get games that are huge downloads, but that you know are still very good. Like Last of Us 2. How big is that? I bet it's going to be smaller than you think. There. Place your bets now. I'm going to look it up.
Okay, Last of Us 2. I'm going to say
Last of Us 2.
I think I'm buying into what Luke's selling here, so I'm going to say it's like 50 gigs.
Okay.
Inel, what are you saying?
I think it's around 50 or 60.
All right. Last of Us 2 remastered, PlayStation 5. Google's telling me 76 to 79 gigabytes. So it is
just
below my threshold. It's below my threshold.
It's under the threshold.
Like, that's the Last of Us 2 remastered PlayStation 5. Are you kidding? You would be like, what's that? That's gonna be like 300 gig or something like that. Like so much game, so much graphics.
What's Ghost of Yotei?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's Ghost of Yotei?
Grand Theft Auto. What would you rate 5? What would you rate that?
GTA 5, like the download size, you mean?
No, what would you rate it?
7 out of 10.
Okay.
See, this is I'm with you. Like, there's some fantastic games, Luke, that are like under like a gig, like or like in size or relatively small. But like some of the best games out here, they're over the hundreds, though.
If you download,
some of them are over the hundreds.
Listen.
Red Dead Redemption 2, that's over 100.
Listen.
Final Fantasy 7 remake, that's over. The Like a Dragon games.
If you download GTA 5 today, then it's going to be like, according to Google, like 90 to 105 gigabytes. Okay, but what I'm reading here, that the original PC release, minimum requirement, 72 gigabytes.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, that's right.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And Hans
food for
was
thought.
93, so you might be right.
Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a problem for the theory.
Yes, there is a. You've got an Arthur Morgan shaped hole in your argument here.
Huge one. Like a Dragon series. What?
120 gig. And look, it's not. It's. Am I going to say
You've got to
it's
have exceptions to the rule, Luke,
Yes,
though.
you know what, I am. Unfortunately, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a 7 out of 10 is the most it can achieve. And I thought that the opening bit in the snow was a bit too long, so 6 out of 10, I think. Is...
That was a long opening.
It was quite a long opening. It was a long opening. I remember the first time I played it though, in a hotel in central London with like PR people sitting over you watching it. I was like, oh my god, this is so good.
Oh man.
Well, look. We like bold and popular opinions here, and that is certainly one of them. So thank you very much for bringing it to the table, Luke. We appreciate
Everyone listening
it.
knows the feeling when you start the download going, and it's like bloop, 90 gigabytes, and then you look at the game and you're like, this isn't going to be that good.
Do you know what it is? I think it's more the issue that it's like, I'm gonna have to delete something to install it. I think that's more that's what pisses me off. I think it's like, what do I need to get rid of in order to play
storage
this?
management? Nah. I don't need storage management in my life. Thank you very much. I bet you're organised, Cassie. I bet you've got loads of hard drives.
I open up Borderlands, and every time I finish playing it, I uninstall it again, and then I play it every Monday with my friend in the evening, and he'll get really mad because he'll ask me and say, make sure it's downloaded. And at 8 o'clock, which is when we start, I'm like, oh, it's just patching. He's like, God. So then we have to sit there and wait for it to download because it's taking up entirely too much space. And also, I'm annoyed because every time I open it, it does that compiling shaders for 48 minutes. So then out of rage. That game and Dead by Daylight uninstalled as soon as I play it, but I play it often, so I don't know what's happening. But as soon as it's gone, space. And yes, I do have spare drives. Do I use them? No.
Of course you don't. Yeah, nobody does.
I don't know why I said that so defensively.
Not on trial
Well,
here,
look,
Cassie.
let us know. Yeah. No one's on trial. This is a safe space. Look, let us know what you think of Luke's unpopular opinion. We love bold talk. It's great. Anything over 80 gig, mid. What do you think? Get in touch. Find us on social media, PressX Podcast or PressX Pod on Instagram and
being
TikTok.
paraphrased there, but I don't mind.
Get in the Discord as well. You know what I mean.
Putting words into his mouth right there.
Now, elsewhere on the Discord, Fino's been in touch, and he says, "Now, I know you're not going to like this. I'm just prefacing this straight away." Okay. He says, older classic or retro games are not always worth playing. He says, games have moved on, and older titles can be a pain to play or even run, especially if they're Nintendo games or you have to need an old telly. They can be janky or lack certain qualities of life that we have now.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that cut
right.
deep,
I think
man.
he's right.
Especially when I'm wearing a Donkey Kong like original jumper. It's like
I made when I was at the YouTube channel Outside Extra, we made a list feature that was called something like 7 amazing games that you should never play again, and it was kind of this idea. It was like games that are extremely like held in high esteem, but that like actually if you play them now are basically no fun because of how much things have moved on and how like janky the controls are. Only 2 examples spring immediately to mind that I can remember from that list of 7. GoldenEye being one.
Yeah.
Like GoldenEye's not fun now.
No.
And the original Tony Hawk's, it's like...
Yeah, I think the issue is when you start going 3D, that's when it can get a bit... There's a lot of frame rate issues that we put up with back in the day that we just don't put up with now. Like
fogging, like...
Fogging your
can't be dealing with
games,
that
like
now.
where you could barely see like 2 feet in front of you, that sort of thing. But like in terms of like 2D retro consoles, like the Mega Drive or the Super Nintendo, like I can go back to Donkey Kong Country and still enjoy that like the same way I did when I was young.
Yeah, Metal Slug games are still as fun now as they were back in the day, in my opinion. So I think 2D, 3D is actually a really good distinction.
Maybe for you, Steffan, it only would have cost you £1.
Yeah. What can I say?
Games like that cost some of us a lot of money. The value proposition is different.
Steffan's never seen the continue screen.
No, I don't know what it looks like. I would say like Mario 64.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Could have been on Luke's list.
That holds up. It holds up, though.
No, it doesn't.
It holds up?
It doesn't.
No.
Oh, it does?
No.
It does.
I still play Mario 64 quite a lot, but there's a lot about it that is like really, really rough. The camera, especially, oh my god, the camera is awful. It's like you can sort of spin it around Mario, but like only a bit. It kind of, it's like a camera that you can rotate, but the camera screams. So every time you do it, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I won't do that again, Mario. It's
there are options though, because like I'm quite fortunate. I got like an analog 3D where you can play like old N64 games on it, but like it has like an overclock feature. So where the games used to be slow and sluggish, they're now quite smooth and very playable. But
does that
like
not make them really difficult though? Were they not sort of
some
designed
games it breaks some games, because some
Right.
games are used to the frame rate being low, but then when it goes fast, it plays a bit too quickly, and then it's a bit otherworldly, because I guess your memories are used to those games like slowing down in certain areas. There's always like parts of like GoldenEye where you know it's always gonna slow down, but like when you play it on this, and it's like, oh, it's not slowing down. It's like, oh, snap.
Look, let us know what you think of that. Of what Fino's suggesting about older titles. Get involved in the Discord, do it on social media as well. And we've had a lovely suggestion in from the Discord, Einel, that I think we should do in the new year. This one has come in from Evs, and he thinks we should maybe move on from the unpopular opinions at the start of every episode, because he's like, most entries boil down to I've got no time. So he was saying,
You ain't wrong.
and you know. Yeah, like I hate character creation. It takes too long. Games over 80 gigs are probably too long. Like whatever, right? So fair enough.
No.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
I'm saying.
Luke didn't say that. He didn't say that.
He did not say that. Into his mouth
He did
again.
not say that. He did not say that. Right? But Evs is suggesting something in the new year we should introduce, which I think is a good idea for us to try as a little palate cleanser, which is called Unsung Games. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a game from history that isn't seen as a classic, but that person loves. So we're going to introduce that.
Oh yeah, I
in
love
the new
that.
year.
That's a great suggestion.
Does that mean that I got in one of the last unpopular opinions
did.
just under the wire? Just
You
snuck
did.
it in.
At 79 gigabytes. That's what you managed to do. You managed to squeeze it in.
An opinion so unpopular they had to stop the whole feature.
So we keep it going, but we might just mix it up a little bit. So Ev's really good suggestion. By the
I
way,
like that suggestion. Yeah.
Unsung Games, the Titanfall series. Don't talk about it enough.
Don't even get us started.
Talk about it enough. So we will get into that in the new year. Right, let's get stuck into some trivia. And don't forget, if you want to get into the act and send us some trivia, there is a secret channel in the Discord. You can do that. You can send your questions in there, and we will get around to trying our best to answer them. And remember, we've got our posh new scoring system, which Luke and Cassie, you're new to the posh new scoring system. It's been triangulated, hasn't it, I know?
There's new algorithms, guys. Get ready for them.
There's a new
We get
algorithm.
bonus points.
Yeah, so Cassie, you've got 2 from 3, which is actually really good. No, you've got 2 right, 3 wrong, sorry, out of 5. So you're currently in 5th place.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, you're just
What can I
behind me
do?
then.
And
What can
Luke
we do
has
to
got
fix that?
you've got 1 from 2, so you're in 6th place. So high up out of 15, that's pretty good going.
Oh my gosh, we've got like a chess ELO, kind of like rating thing here going
Yeah,
on.
the new
it's
new
got fancy
algorithm's
round here.
complicated. I don't know if you can see
God.
the but you can't.
Yeah, I'm
really see
looking at
Not
it
even
now
a
on
little
Steffan's phone. It's like a sort of, it's like looking into the Matrix.
Yeah, it's very clever, very clever
Seeing
work.
numbers running down the screen.
Yeah, the team
A
in
matrix that
Discord have-
calculates how bad I am at knowing things.
They've figured it out. Okay, so this week's question: a 2017 study found that older adults playing which classic 3D platforming game had an increase in grey matter on their brains, leading to fewer cases of neurological disease. So,
Brain
which
drain.
a 2017 study found that older adults playing which classic 3D platforming game? We'll bring you the answer at the end of the episode. But any early shouts, Cassie? What do you think? 3D platformer that helped the old brain.
I'd like to hear from the others first to see which one of their answers I like.
No, I'm thinking
yeah.
like Crash Bandicoot or something, and like
No thanks.
I'm thinking that's one of the early ones I can think of that will probably.
Crash
I don't
Bandicoot
know.
actually is a really good shout because it is technically a 3D game, a 3D platformer, but like it's the kind of thing that you could give to a sort of test group of older grown-ups who don't play video games, and they could probably wrap their heads around it quite quickly. I was thinking Mario 64 just because we were talking about it earlier. Like, that game makes you smart. But I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna bet it's a really, because like, just because it's a study, and I just feel like the study they'll have just pulled something weird for no reason. I'm gonna say Spyro. I'm gonna say they did a study on the health benefits of Spyro.
Spyro the Dragon. Any raises on Spyro?
It's a great series.
I think you might have been closer with Mario Kart, though I do like the Spyro thinking, because I don't feel like there's enough Spyro conversations, and if I think that, someone else would have had that. So yeah, for the outlier, but just for if they're pedestrian and dry, maybe Mario.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying, think about it carefully, Cass, because you are in 5th place at the minute, so you don't want to just...
That's what I'm saying, and this is my problem. This is my whole problem. It's really an issue. It's the same thing I have in games. I don't like to use my skill points because I get really worried about investing.
So you don't level up.
Yeah, so I'll just sit there just continuously dying because I'm like, I don't want to spend too much. And now I don't even want to guess because I'm scared of losing. I don't... Like, what's it like being... Are you 6, Luke?
Am I 6?
Yeah, Luke is in 6th. You are in 5th.
Yeah,
Einel is in 4th, and I am in 3rd.
Are you asking what's it like to be in 6th position? Like,
yeah.
What's it like? Well, it's like I'm a worm. It's like I'm covered in filth, rolling around. I can only look up at you titans above me in 5th, 4th.
It's like, you know, when you're in the
second,
queue to get into a
first.
club, will I get in or not with the others? I don't know.
Right, but I'm getting into my suggestion before anybody else goes. I'm saying it's loud. I'm saying it's Tomb Raider. It's Tomb Raider. I'm saying it's Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Damn, that's a really good. That's a really
I
good.
changed my mind to Tomb Raider.
That's what I'm saying.
David,
Right,
message
anyway,
me.
we'll bring
That
you.
game's unplayable now.
Yeah. Look, we will bring you the answer at the end of the podcast, as ever. Right, let's get into some questions from the Discord then. We've had some interesting thoughts in there recently about subtitles in games. So Andrew put this suggestion there. He said games should have a standardized system for how cutscenes and subtitles work, because I don't want every new game to be a complete mystery. Will pressing the options button during a cutscene cause it to pause or skip it entirely? Will it be possible to change or disable subtitles during a cutscene? Do I've got to wait until the first cutscene's over, potentially missing important dialogue? Also, which menu are the subtitle settings going to be under? Is it gameplay? Is it audio? Is it accessibility? It feels like that no single game studio can decide where it fits, and so it's like a Where's Wally experience.
The game developers have like all sorts of like various discussions about this, especially like in terms of like accessibility, where to put things. Like there's loads of like really great like companies that kind of help consult with developers to kind of get their like settings and their options available for people, but not everybody uses them. And that's the issue. Because I really like it, you know, when in a game, if you just wiggle the stick and then like a bunch of options flash up on the screen and then they fade away if you don't need them during the cutscene. That's the ones I like. So if you need to know if I can pause it, skip it or whatnot, wiggle the stick and then like a bunch of options pop up and then they disappear. I love that. It's like, all right, sweet. I haven't interrupted anything. I haven't paused anything. I'm just seeing what the options are and then they fade away if I don't need them.
Yeah, is that probably quite complicated? It sounds like it's quite complicated to do. That would be.
No, it's just like tooltips. It's just like just pops up like some button prompts at the bottom, and then they fade away.
I have heard it's been explained to me that in game development terms, cutscenes are like way more complicated than you imagine, and that like a cutscene going into a cutscene and coming out of a cutscene is like really technical, and so the act of like skipping a cutscene if the cutscene's like happening in engine is like actually quite a gigantic sort of programming challenge to make it kind of skip. That said, the following things must be legal from now on, in my opinion. You must be able to pause every cutscene. You must be able to skip every cutscene. When you wiggle the stick, it should show you all of your options. When you pause a cutscene, you should have the options to turn on subtitles and also change the size of them and the background and all that stuff. And skipping a cutscene should always be holding a button for a few seconds, so you can't do it by accident unless you want to change that for accessibility reasons or whatever, in which case you must be able to.
Mikael adds that he always changes the subtitles to the largest possible settings, Cassie, so that it's easier for him to read. Do you have the subtitles on, or do you play without them?
I usually have subtitles on, even if it's by myself, but usually there's someone in the room or I'm streaming, and not everyone has audio. So I just think I have no issues with accessibility with that. And I much prefer having subtitles on as well, so I don't miss anything. The only time that I get a bit distracted is if it's on like a massive screen, my eyes keep dropping down to read whatever's happening, and then I'm going like between but
ping pong.
I think, do you know what? I think I might be a new devotee to the Church of Luke, because you've said a few sensible things today, and I stand. I like the I agree with everything with that. Like, there's nothing that I would have changed with that. I'm shocked.
Well, it'll be interesting. We're gonna. Cassie's got a review for us coming up in a second, so it'll be interesting to see if Luke is as much of a devotee as on your takes as you are on Luke's. It's going to be. We'll wait and find out.
Well, we can't join each other's cults. One of us is going to have to come and live in the other one's compound.
Two cults.
But I will say, in a subcult.
I will say there's one feature I have seen in a game recently that I really enjoy and I want to see more in games. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth allows you to fast forward cutscenes if you can't skip them, because a lot of some of as Luke was saying, some of the cutscenes are in game, and some of them the characters need to be in a certain position for them. But what it does allow you to do is fast forward if you hold down the trigger, and so it's really fun because it even speeds up the music because the gameplay is timed to the music as well, and so because you can't skip because it's in time with the music, you can fast forward it. Love that.
That's great. If it's your second playthrough or something.
Well, Keza McDonald's unpopular opinion once was you should never skip a cutscene. So I think there definitely needs to be work on like making people understand what the crack is. Well, tough. You've made your choice. You're playing the game. Get on with it. I think was the message.
I think you should be able to, just because, and the reason why is I had the horror of playing Baldur's Gate with a friend recently, and I was unaware
the horror
the dream scene. You'll understand. My small little friend, I didn't realise that, and I could see them in their dream scene, and I saw all of them, everything. It went on for so long, and I was just sitting there on stream like, oh my god, this is the day that I get banned.
That's another thing. They need censor buttons.
Yeah. I think when I said, I think they did offer that, and I was like, how bad can it be? From every aspect, I would have liked to skip that. So let's not get rid of the skip button.
Yeah, good. Well, I mean, that is quite something, Cassie. I don't know how I really move on from that, to be honest with you.
I'll send you the clip.
Don't actually. No, I'm good. I don't want the clip. I'm fine. Please excuse the fact that I'm living in boxes as well at the moment, as you may have noticed, cause moving house. So apologies for that. Now, so yeah, like I was mentioning, so Cassie's going to review Dispatch for us in a moment, which I'm really excited about because I've seen so many people talk about Dispatch, and I know it's like this big viral thing, and so I want to get onto that. But before we do that, if you don't mind, I'm going to spring a topic on all of you. None of you have been producer Dave. I've only decided to do this like 2 minutes before we started recording. And so apologies for springing this on you. But basically, I was listening to one of my favourite podcasts on the way home from doing the school run this morning. I am what is called a rotter. I listen to the Screen Rot podcast. I love it. It's really funny. It is about, it's a brilliant sort of commentary, I suppose, on the social media and digital age that we live in. Two comedians, Jake Farrell and Jacob Hawley, sit down every week and they trawl through some of the weirdest and wonderful things that people put on the internet, right? I think if you're interested in the digital world that we live in, by the way, you should definitely listen. It's really funny, it's quite insightful, and it's actually really thought-provoking. I'm a big fan. I listen every week. But I mention it because their latest episode, or one of the latest episodes, is about Angry Ginge. I don't know if you know who Angry Ginge is. He's a Twitch streamer and a content creator, basically, who's now on I'm a Celebrity. And I found it really interesting because here we have two comedians, both who are totally on top of like social trends and modern life and what have you. And their impression of what, and I don't like the phrase, but just for shorthand, quote unquote, gamer is, I just thought it was so old fashioned that I couldn't quite figure out how that made me feel about it, because they're on top of social trends, but yet they still think of gamers as onesie wearing, energy drink necking, croc wearing slobs who don't leave the house and don't have social skills. And I was like,
you can just call my name out. Yeah, thanks.
No. Well, whatever. But I was like, it doesn't really matter if that's what people think of gaming, because that's clearly not what the vast majority of people who play are. And if you do play and you want to live like that, that's totally cool. You do you, sort of thing. But I just didn't know how that made me feel, because I was like, well, I'm the world I think of is about interactive storytelling and artistic expression and actually communities and friends, and that's so far from my experience of what I think of a gamer, quote unquote. And I wasn't really sure what I felt, and I still don't know how I feel about it, and I don't know why, if it's even important. I thought, well, you know what, I'm having three friends sit together in a moment to talk about games, so what better place to sort of try and express how that made me feel, because
That's
he's
the
not
healthy
wrong
way to do it.
Yeah, he's not wrong, because there are people that play like that, and they were leaning in on the misogyny and the sort of angriness of some gaming cultures. But also, he feels like quite outdated, and why do I care? Do I even care? I don't know. Am I expressing myself fine here? Do you know what I mean? I'm in a bit of a like.
No, you are. I think it's as I said earlier. I think it's healthy to kind of even like unpack that in a way. I think it's because gaming is for a hobby, it's like one of the most expensive ones. Like, it's so expensive. Like, if you think about, like, if you're into books and things, like, books that generally they cost around a certain amount of money and they don't usually go over a certain threshold. Same with, like, instruments and things. Like, instruments can get expensive, but, like, you can learn to play the piano on the same piano and you can continue to play on that for generations. Whereas gaming, you have to almost kind of keep up with the trends. You have to keep up with the latest technology. And because of that, a lot of people stay out of it and they don't get the wonderful experiences that a lot of us get to experience in terms of like the great storytelling, the social kind of commentary on a lot of things, just the interactivity and being able to kind of play with one person from across the world and engage with them in that kind of way. And I think because people miss out on that, their perception of what gamers are still quite old school from when the last time they were playing games.
Yeah, because it has, and I just don't know why it made me think, because these are people I respect. I think they're really interesting, and I like listening to them every week. And it's like, oh, that's interesting that they still think of games in that way. And I haven't thought of it like that, Cassie, in years and years. And it's interesting if people that are still quite up with life as it is now still think of games like that. Is that a problem or not?
Yes.
Or
100%.
And whose fault is it? Is it them for being ignorant? Is it us for not explaining? Because I just feel sad that they're missing out on Red Dead Redemption, and they're missing out on Firewatch, or they're missing out on Vampire Survivors. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
I'm here to get on my high horse. I think it's a problem in many ways. So apart from like people being able to identify themselves in like community, etc., let's talk about the things that matter to me, which is finances. So a lot of the time, gaming isn't included in most of the things when we think of like, you have film, and BAFTA do a really good job of this, but you usually have like film, TV and music, and gaming's not included, and there's so much that's incorporated with that. And so when you don't see it as like a natural progression of people's like career, you don't see it as a thing that includes like adults or people that have like a whole job in it, there's less funding that's behind it. I see a massive shift in the way that like London's looking at it. They have London's Games Festival, but if you compare it to somewhere say like Turkey, who have a lot of like incubators and accelerators to invest into the gaming space and into like studios and are creating like amazing things, then you can see like the they don't take it as seriously. I did a talk on a news channel as I don't know if I can say it. I did, and they kept on saying like, oh, and you know what, it's so fun that the kids are doing this, you know, the kids are getting into this, and you must be like 1 in a million. And I was like, yeah, but not for this. They don't.
Average age of a game is 40.
Yeah, they don't. There's a massive gap in that. And whilst we can just say, oh, like, it doesn't really matter, I think if you look at it as in a business in itself, that's not necessarily taken seriously. We're seeing people like losing jobs, we're seeing less investment into it, yet we're seeing non-endemic brands coming in and riding like the gaming for as much as they can do. That gap can be a bit dangerous for not only for like devs, individuals, but just the general gaming space. I do think there's a shift on that, and I do like the fact that there's more people incorporating different things within the gaming and film space, and there's more marrying up of that, but we're way behind where other people are. So it's not just a small thing. I think that feeling is a thing of sometimes when I talk to people and then they say, oh, are you still doing that little gaming thing? And they're just like checking in, but it's a dismissal of all the work that you do behind it. It's a dismissal of like the careers that you build out of it. It's not taking it seriously or seeing it as like kids playing Fortnite kind of undermines and diminishes the importance of it. So when people say I've lost my job in the gaming industry, that people are like, oh yeah, well, why don't you do another job? Why don't you do a grown-up job? Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm very passionate about this.
No, it's in this. Yeah.
Sorry.
Have you come up against this, Luke? Some of that sort of outdated take on.
Yeah, for sure. If I'm talking to, you know, just like if some random person at a party or something, you know, someone I'm just meeting for the first time, I always tell them what I do for a living, kind of like with a big wince, kind of like through gritted teeth. I'm like, I don't know what you're gonna make. I don't think you're gonna respect me very much. You know, like, do you know what I mean? It's like it is because it does come with a lot of baggage. The thing that I think. I don't know. I feel like I personally can't do a huge amount to shake that stereotype, except, you know, trying my best to be nice and like continue to play video games while sort of being like generally nice and minding my own business and stuff. And the thing that most people who play games do, you know, you kind of like try and move the needle a little bit individually. But what it does make me think of, and this is this might be getting like dangerously off topic, and I know this was kind of off topic to begin with, so we might be like doubly in uncharted waters, but like but we all know that the stereotype of what a quote unquote gamer is like is total nonsense, because we're so immersed in the hobby. We know that it's incredibly complex and nuanced and multifaceted, and it has loads of history, and it like spans genres and nations and generations and stuff like this. And there's a lot of ugly stuff, and there's also a lot of like incredibly beautiful and intelligent stuff. But like we only know that because it's the hobby that we like have picked to go all in on. So I try when that sort of stuff happens, I try and use it as like a useful reminder that there's probably like other scenes out there that are like way more complicated than I've given them credit for. Like there's a stereotype that goes with every kind of fandom, right? Like if I say like a theatre buff, there's probably something you're imagining. But I bet there's a theatre podcast kicking off right now where they're saying, like, can you believe people think that we're all just sort of like beret wearing, like
poshers,
sort of posh, like, you know, sort of posh. Yes, theatre, very good. You know, sort of Shakespeare.
Me and Ainel have got an announcement actually about a new podcast we're doing in theatre.
Yeah. But you know, maybe I don't like. Or, I don't know, the art world, or like wine enthusiasts. If you picture maybe like, or football fans, or Grateful Dead. Like if you're like picture a fan of the Grateful Dead, and like I know what I'm picturing, and you're probably like, but maybe if I got into the Grateful Dead, I'd find that there's like a vibrant scene of like sort of.
Yeah, but, you know, I think what the difference is though, Luke. I think with games, because we're so deep in it, we know there's something for everyone in there. Whereas like wine tasting and things like that, there isn't. It's like if you don't drink alcohol, then it's not for you. Game over. Whereas like there's a story with I totally believe there's a game for everyone, and because there's such a vast plethora of them, and so many different like genres, stories, like experiences, that there's gonna be someone out there that if they experience it, they're gonna love it.
Well, how about this?
And I think that's what makes it different.
I just wanted to say, like, quickly, and maybe it's just too positive, and I'll try and ruin that later. But I mean, part of like what you lot are doing, you have podcasts and you do things, and you have a variety of people on there with no agenda or anything, just people that enjoy talking about games. And it's a wild scope of everyone with different views, different kind of stories of how they've got into gaming. I think authentically bringing things like that, even with us doing this now and having this conversation, even with the clips that I see, is a shift, or like is what we want to see. It's not the same. People think the gamer is the Simpsons guy underneath collecting comic books, but just being able to have like a platform and talk about games and just having that shared passion is a start and a change to that. So I do appreciate,
because I wasn't sure if I should. I just wasn't sure if I should care. Because you can't assume that everybody's going to be in on games. Like, some people will be dismissive of it. Like, sometimes I'm dismissive of things and I shouldn't be. Like Luke says, actually, it's been quite an interesting mirror exercise to be like, hang about, maybe I dismiss things offhand before giving them due consideration. So part of me is like, well, you shouldn't care about it, so don't talk about it. But the other part of me is like, well, no, I really want to explore as to why this impression still exists all these years later, and whether or not we should bother to challenge it, and whether it's actually a problem of the ambassadors of games. Because if their only experience of the scene is watching people watching that type of content.
It's bizarre though, isn't it? Because it's like I think of games in the same way as I think of films and TV.
Exactly.
And I would never ever there's no like stereotype associated with a television viewer, because the television viewer is every freaking person in the world, because who doesn't like TV? And that's how I think of video games. It's like, everyone likes video games, how could you not? Not everyone is watching all the TV on all the movies. You just find the kind of thing that you like, and you can get very, very, very far down a rabbit hole in like a particular genre or strand of that, and that's what games are like. But weirdly, everyone in the world, I know that's not that stupid, like everyone watches TV and everyone watches movies, but not everyone plays games. So it's weird. It would be like if only like 10% of the population watched TV, and then like those people who watch TV were walking around being like, no man, there's some really good stuff. You have to believe in. You're all right, Strictly Come Dancing, that's what you like, isn't it? You know.
I think this has been really therapeutic. So I think it's been really. I think it just made me think. I think ultimately I was just sad that someone who I love their content. I think they're brilliant comedian. It's really funny to listen to. I think I was overall a bit sad that there's like a big cool part of culture that they're sort of missing out on, I suppose, because that stereotype has put them off accessing it. And I was wondering, is that an issue for us? And also but also cool, you can have a really happy, fulfilling life and not do it, and also really happy, fulfilling life and play and wear a onesie or whatever. I don't know. So I wasn't really sure if I'd get anywhere, but I think it's been helpful to talk about it. So thanks for sort of bearing with me.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, well, it's been a bit of a mini therapy session, on Press X, but I think it's just it's interesting.
You did say we'd get therapy today.
I did say that, didn't I? And I can totally see where he's coming from, because we've all met those people that sometimes
all the time.
All the time we meet people who can alienate you a little bit with their sort of with their passion, and they could be gamers, or they could be passionate about anything, and it go too far, and it's like problematic for them and for you. So I totally see where he's coming from, but it made us think, and it made us have 10 minutes of good content in the podcast. So thank you very much to it's been great.
Have 10 minutes they don't get on their pod.
But I tell you what though, if you're interested in why certain content creators stuff go viral, and like having a fun take on it, do listen to their podcast, Screen Up Podcast. it's really fun, even if it made me feel a bit weird because they talked about something I cared about in a way. I was like, well, I don't feel or associate with that at all. But yeah,
well, you know what? I feel that happens with a lot of. I mean, I'm pretty certain people probably feel that way about some of the stuff we say, but it's nice that we get to hear from the community and they let us know. So it's,
and we talk about it, and like because we're adults, you can have adult conversation, and also there's no right or wrong. We're just playing little pixels on screen, aren't we? It's just Frogger at the end of the day. It's just Frogger. Okay, for a slightly more in-depth review now, Cassie, time for you to tell us all about Dispatch, the viral sensation that seems to be all over my algorithm. What is it? What's going on?
I should be able to romance anyone I want. That's my first thing. That's a review. Thank you so much, everybody.
Are we talking about the game already?
No. So The Wolf Among Us is probably one of my favourite games ever, and I believe the team that made The Wolf Among Us are the ones that worked on Dispatch. When I describe it as like a Telltale / Invincible / Lemmings / I don't know, task management crossover of a game. It's so good. It had me caught up straight away. I am glad it's 8 episodes.
So what is it? So point and click? Is it do you choose a dialogue? How does it play?
You've got like QT. It's a QTR story game. I'm trying to think of the best way, because you'd think it's just the like the invincibleness of like the game, but then you have to do things.
That's the cartoon, right?
Yes, yeah. So basically, it's also a graphic novel. So it's superheroes. Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning. I did a recap, but though you said the recap was so wild that I should probably.
It's a playable graphic novel, right? Based on sort of superheroes in the sort of broad brush top line stuff.
Yes,
and you're enjoying it by the sounds of it, Cassie.
I finished it, but in the middle of this, but you can also make choices, and this is the part that stresses me out, because your choices, I hate it when you do make a choice and they're like, well, they're going to remember that, and you're like, oh crap. Okay, so and I don't want to spoil things for you, but I definitely think HR would be stepping in, but also in between like all of this story and making these choices and like the fun like QTR, you're dispatching people out. So you are working as a dispatcher and you have to send the superheroes out to stop crime. I love this because it's like every element that I need. Me feeling like a Sims god, like I've got that inside there. However, I've also, by the way, you might want to put the censor, you might want to censor the game. It's there's a lot of things. There's a lot of swinging around.
You see a lot.
Yeah. You see a lot. It's great. It's very.
And you hear a lot.
It's very adult, but in the best way. I feel it definitely feels like if the boys and Invincible were to marry up and make a game, that kind of humor. I personally feel that not knowing too much before I went in was what made the game even better. However, there's a lot of replayability. So they released it 2 episodes per time. I think there's 8 episodes altogether, and your choices can impact what happens at the end. And as much as I get stressed out about this, I also love it. But that's why it makes it so replayable, because you'll ask someone what did they do, and they went completely different and had a different result at the end of it. And that's where I would also say it marries up a bit of the Life is Strange as well, because I love at the end where it says 19% of people did this, or like 80% of people did this. Yeah. So it's just, and I just feel like there's so much conversation that you can have around it as well. The soundtrack for it is so good. They have having FOT squads. Just I feel like I get so excited about games sometimes. This is one of the reasons why I love games. Dispatch is I got excited about Expedition 33 like this, and Dispatch marries up the same excitement that I had.
How long is an episode, Cassie?
I would say for normal people probably about like an hour or so. For me, 3 hours, because first of all I kept on yelling about each person, and then I would pause it on places that I shouldn't pause and start screaming at the fact that I'd have to decide between people. You can romance people, but the person that I would like to romance is not romanceable, and I sent them a message and I was like, I need you to fix this. The voice acting, that voice acting, it's great. I think, is it? I was going to say Aaron Taylor Johnson, but that's not who it is. It's
Aaron Paul.
Yes, Aaron Paul is a voice actor in it, and they've got a lot of like creators. They've got Critical Role in there as well, who helped shape the script. It's just a good, meaty, like fun game that's really immersive. And there's people that are talking about it that haven't played it and want to play it. There's people that have played it and still enjoy watching it. I think the virality of it is because it's valid for it. Like, everything that I enjoy in a story, everything that I enjoy in the game, everything that I enjoy with the satisfaction of just the absolute mess that we can make of decision making is all in this game. So
it's got a Metacritic score of 89, so it's really high. Cassie, you can clearly tell you're loving it there. I know you were nodding along for a lot of it as well. You've had a little play as well?
I've not played. I've been one of those people that have watched other people play. I've been watching my partner play it, and it's great. Like, this is one of those games I say where if you're not really into games but you're curious, this is a great one to just sit and watch a partner or a friend play along, or a streamer, and you get to experience it just there, and then you let the other person make the decisions for you, or you can kind of collaborate if you want. But like, I love it, and I like the way they released it, various episodes each week, which was great. Kept up the conversation, a bit like how like we do with like Netflix shows or like other streaming shows where they release certain episode one a week and stuff. It was nice because you have conversations about that particular episode, and then it moves to the next thing, and it builds that anticipation for wanting to play again the next time. And because it's only like an hour each episode anyway, it takes around about an hour. It's nice. It's bite sized. It's not going to take up too much time. I love that. And plus, some fantastic actors in there. Like my favorite Jeffrey Wright's character. I'm not going to spoil it, but Jeffrey Wright, fantastic.
And it doesn't happen that often, Luke. At the moment, I felt like, when, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, games would go viral quite a lot, and you'd have like a real moment where you'd see it everywhere. I think the death of Twitter is a sort of games space where you'd see stuff. I don't see games go as viral as much, but on TikTok, you tend to see the same stuff over and over again. It was great to see this pop out of nowhere, and suddenly everybody was chatting about it.
Yeah, it's nice. It definitely makes me think of that heyday. It's harder this year, I think, for a game to like bubble to the top like that, because it's just been such a bonkers busy year for incredible and surprising and like really good video games. But definitely. I haven't played it at all. I haven't seen anyone else play it. I was not interested at all until I heard Cassie talk about it. Bear in mind, I wouldn't have played Blueprints, except last time I was on this podcast, Cassie was like, you should. So I did. And Cassie was right. And I dare say Cassie's right again.
Cassie's right.
Yeah, I do. I'm a huge Life is Strange fan, and the Lost Records.
That came out this year as well.
I'm going to actually start that today. Did you play Lost Records?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
It's excellent, and I stream them for patrons, and we do a thing where when it comes to like a big important choice, I do like a vote in the chat. Like a poll, like what should I do? Nice. Which I love, because then the decision is out of my hands, which I find to be a huge relief. And also, it feels like we're sort of all picking the story together, and this feels like an absolutely perfect choice for that, provided I can get the game into some kind of streaming safe mode with options.
You can,
regarding isolation.
They 100% do that.
Yeah, they have the option before you start.
Big tip.
Yeah.
And look, this is coming from Cassie, the person who turned this podcast into a Mario Kart, Princess Peach and Donkey Kong Love Island. If she said you can censor,
and I was right.
You can sense it. Hey, somebody voted that as their favourite moment of our first year of this podcast being independent, Cassie. So, it went down a storm.
Oh, really?
It did, yeah.
Oh, that's so
no, so that's got Metacritic score, like I was saying, was 89. Highly recommended. Lots of people talking about it. It'll cost you 25 quid on Steam, rather, and £29 on the PlayStation Store. So thank you very much, Cassie, for that review. Right, let's finish up with a couple of bits then. It's time for this week's big question. So this is where our producers scheme behind our back while the show is on and come up with a question based on what we've been talking about. And this week's question is this. You are all joint 6th on the Press X leaderboard, meaning that, you're all worms. What weapon are you using to take out the other teams? What's your gravestone? And what's your fighting talk in your best worms impression? Have you got a good worms impression, Einel? You're a voice actor.
Yeah. I go on. I'm like, I'll probably use the holy hand grenade.
The holy hand grenade, yes.
You can't go better. Can't go better than the holy hand grenade. And then I'll do something strange. I'll say like a meme. I'll say like 6-7 or something like that, and throw it.
You can do good. That's as good as they're going to get. That's as good as we're going to get. I don't think any of us need to. Well done, I know you've done that for all of us. I love the concrete donkey. Remember the concrete donkey?
I was going to say the concrete donkey.
Yeah.
So
concrete
good.
donkey. I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
It would carve like a huge slice out through the level because it would just it was just a great big concrete donkey that squashed everything.
I loved the worms. That was so good. Do you
I've never played
Cassie?
worms.
Oh, it was so good.
Worms. Is worms the ones where they've got because I'm afraid of them. So is it? I don't like things that are that smooth. But is it? Do they have army hats on and eyes? But they would they're worms. I find that very unnatural, and I think that's why. And to know that they can talk as well because worms have teeth. I just think that perhaps you lot are giving. Maybe not everyone has to be empowered. Yeah.
I think Cassie's hatred of worms is something we're going to have to pick up next time you're on with us, Cassie, because that needs some exploration. All right, the answer to our trivia question: a 2017 study found that older adults playing which classic 3D platforming game had an increase in grey matter in their brains, leading to fewer cases of neurological diseases. Let's reminder: I said Tomb Raider. Einel, you said
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Luke, you said
Spyro.
Cassie, you said
Mario Radar. Because I wanted a crossover between Tomb Raider and Mario.
Nice.
Whatever's the right one. Thank you.
So you just pick one.
Fine, Mario.
Okay, the answer was Super Mario 64. Congratulations, Cassie.
You should have trusted your instinct.
Luke,
I never
you
doubted
had it.
myself. I
You
never
had
doubted
it.
myself once. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
So, Cassie,
be nice.
big for you.
Must be nice.
Yo, what does that do to the algorithm?
Well, we're going to put it into there is some complicated maths that goes on to this algorithm, right? So I'm not sure if we're going to get it like immediately. The supercomputer.
It needs computing time.
Yeah,
I bet
There's
somehow
a lot
it
of
puts me in 7th.
Well, I tell you what. Hey, the results.
7. Hey.
The results are in 6-7.
No.
The results are in. Cassie, you have now leapfrogged me and Einel up into 3rd place.
Thank you so much, Luke, for sacrificing yourself for me, and I appreciate that. I'm so
Luke,
happy
you have
to be
sadly
here.
dropped down
Thank you.
from to 10th. You've dropped down to 10th.
What?
6-10.
Really?
Yeah. Don't ask.
The algorithm,
Don't
bro.
blame me. Blame the maths. Okay. There's a posh algorithm. And yeah, you've dropped
I didn't
down.
know there was scum worse than me.
You
Yeah.
I
definitely
thought I
ain't
was
getting
like
in the
in
club.
last. Wait, how far does it go down? 10,000 what?
15. Bottom of the barrel.
Oh.
Bottom of the
So I
barrel.
was
You've got
doing pretty good in 6th. I was in the
You've
top
got-
half.
Glenn Moore, Dan Krupa, Marcus Bronzy, Wee Claire, and Cyborg Angel are down there in the bottom.
Oh, yo, you're in all the bottom rungs.
So, sorry, Luke.
Ooh.
Sorry, Luke. Well, have a lovely
We're
December
going to
and
get
Christmas.
together and rise up. We're storming the barricades.
Well, it's been a joy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Was a bit. It was really good. I'm really glad you allowed me to open up and talk things through. On
You
the
can
pod
open
this
up
week.
anytime, Steffan.
Thank you very
This is
much.
a safe
That was
space.
good.
Thank you.
We'll bill you for the
We will
session.
have you. Yeah, I feel good about myself. Right, take care, Luke. Cassie, lovely to have you on. Speak to you very soon. Einel, fantastic
Thank
Christmas
you.
hat. Keep doing you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all very soon. Thanks, gang. Back next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.